Hi, I'm Zach from Flywheel Supply. Today we're going to show you how to take the fuel jet and the check valve out of a Maytag twin. As you can see, I have a twin cylinder Maytag here. The flywheel and magneto have already been removed, but it's not necessary as you can still reach everything with the flywheel mag on it. The first thing to do is to remove the kick pedal assembly. To do that, we need to remove this tank bolt on the back corner here. Loosen this set screw here, which is square-headed typically. Loosen that, and then drive the starter ratchet pin in a little bit. And this whole side cover and segment gear comes off. Now we can set that to the side and work on the rest of the motor. Now we'll finish removing the other 4 tank bolts, 1/2-inch socket. Now, if there's gas in your motor, be really careful when you separate it, as you'll spill everywhere. So just lift straight up, and you may have to force and separate it, as sometimes they stick together. But just lift the motor straight off, and you cannot set the engine down as your check valve is protruding, and you'll snap them off. So slide your gas tank out of the way, and then you'll have your engine like short block here. Now you don't typically need to take the base plate off. You just need to loosen these 2 set screws on the side of the motor located here and here. The higher up one holds the air tube in, and the lower one holds the fuel jet and the check valve in. So now we'll remove the top screw, and we don't need to totally remove it, just back it out a couple turns, and the same with the lower one, like so. Now turn your engine over so you don't break the fuel tube off. Take a flat-bladed screwdriver and a hammer and go against this ring down here on the side. You'll see right here. That's that. Put a screwdriver against this and just drive. And as you can see, the air tube taps right out of the block. So you'll see the hole here that just came out of. And now we can turn the motor, and you'll see the fuel jet is protruding into that passageway ever so slightly. Now I'll take a flat-bladed screwdriver, lay it parallel to the block like this, and simply drive the fuel jet out. And it pops right out. Now the only thing is, if this bottom plate is not aligned to the hole correctly, this will move a little bit and get stuck. So you might have to loosen these 2 bolts and wiggle it, or just simply remove these 2 bolts, pop the plate off, and then drive the jet out. And now the next step is to remove the fuel jet from the check valve. If you're replacing your check valve, just unscrew it like so. And this is your fuel jet. You can run a small piece of wire up through the hole here, or down through the little tiny hole here. Just be careful you don't egg that hole out with like a cutting torch tip cleaner or something, as it'll run too rich, because that's the jet that sets the amount of fuel the engine gets. Then your actual check valve comes apart. The check valve comes off the fuel tube here. Like so. And then the lower half of the check valve comes out. And these are the same check valves as used in most of your single-cylinder engines. And in here, there's no spring or anything, but you have the bottom of the check valve, a really tiny little gasket there, if you can see that by my finger. See that gasket? And then inside the middle piece, or the upper piece of your check valve, is a little flat plate. And that little flat plate has a little flat spot on the side of it, and it's supposed to be there. So when you get these, that is not a defective part having that flat spot. It was intended that way from the beginning. So if you're rebuilding your check valve, you would normally discard this plate. They get worn. And discard the lower piece and simply install the new one in the bottom of your Check valve body, screw your fuel tube back in, screw it into the jet, and you're good to go. Same process for a single cylinder as a twin, other than the single cylinder doesn't have the jet in the body of the block. It just simply unscrews out of the carburetor. That's all. If you have any questions, feel free to call or email. Thanks for watching.